Hello everyone, Ramirez here, Tidewater Renaissance Fighting Arts. And just doing a little bit of housekeeping for those of you that are watching my videos. Channel's been a little slow recently. I was recently in Europe, and then I got back from Europe, and I immediately got sick. So it's been a little while. I hope to put some more material out. I have had a couple people come out and ask me, Ramirez, this is a left-handed HEMA channel, and that is a part of the goal. It is part of the title. And I haven't put out a lot of left-handed HEMA stuff. So what my goal is I am going to try to get at least one more video up in the next few weeks on left-handed techniques, and that's going to be on single sword, side sword, and dagger. So look forward to that in the next couple of weeks. It might be next week. It depends on whether or not I can get someone to assist me in the video. So today is the follow-up on a video I've been doing about pierced plate and helmets. I had shown a couple of weeks ago, and if you've watched my series, this Houndskull faceplate. And for harness effect, according to Decoven Accords, all of the openings were not up to spec, so I had to put in pierced plate. You'll notice I've done that, so if you look at the bottom of that mouth breath, there is pierced plate there. There's also pierced plate in both of the eye slots. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about with this is a stainless steel visor, and the pierced plate is also stainless steel. So what we did was on the inside, and I'll let you see that, we took one large piece and we did several welds around with the pierced plate as well as around where that lower breath was. You'll notice that the color here is a bright silver, but on the outside you'll notice that it's very dark, and that's intentional, so the pierced plate is a little less noticeable. So when I did this, after we did the actual weld, what we did, I took a acrylic marker in a matte black finish and just kind of touched around the mouth breath and also stuck it in the eye slot and kind of just did the best I could of painting that in. And the nice thing is that when I have it on, you really don't notice, because it's already dark inside the helmet, you don't notice the pierced plate as much. So visually, even though if you get up close you could see it, it won't be as noticeable. So that was a little trick there. One thing I want to make a note is that we tried really hard to keep it not being visible, but when we did the welds, there are slight weld marks that you can see, and that this is something to keep in mind as far as what the finish is going to be like if you decide excuse me, to weld a stainless steel pierced plate on stainless steel visors. So it was a little disappointing to me because it's a really clean finish, and that did add a little bit to it. There were a couple of suggestions about what we could do to remove that. I just kind of cleaned it up, polished it a little bit to get it to the point that it was acceptable for me, but it is something that you should keep in mind that you are going to potentially, you could have some marring of a perfect mirror finish on a helmet like this by doing that. However, I think overall, now I can use it for harness fecting. So that's a good thing, because if I went to an event and they said, well, you don't have pierced plate and the visor holes are too big, that might get me, I couldn't use this for a tournament. So I wanted to make sure that I got that done. And overall, it fits perfectly fine on the helmet. It's doing really well. And that's one more thing about adding pierced plate to a commercial visor. So I hope they found this helpful. If you do have any other questions, I've already talked in another video about putting pierced plate on helmets. I think I have a couple of videos on that at this point. So If you do have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Once again, this particular helmet is from the Kingsguard, I believe. The Kingsguard visor from Arm Street from their Bascinet. So if you are curious, and like I said earlier, I will try to get another left-handed fighting video out probably before January is my goal. Once again, I just need to make sure I have time with someone to run that video. And also my goal after, well, somewhere along the line, I'm going to be talking a lot about clothing for a little bit, both clothing for harness events and just medieval clothing attire for, let's say, post-HEMA competition revels, or if you are doing a lot of the harness effect and style events, a lot of them are partially living history, so a lot of them do ask you to be dressed up in medieval attire, and since I have a fair amount of it, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. All right, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.